bit.
Well, at least I know I'm not crazy, so thank you for the validation.
No, ma'am. Your MRI fully validates there's enough on there to write a book. Oh, man, that feels gnarly right there. All right, it's okay. I saw your MRIs and I looked at the X-rays, and we'll look at them again in a second. But tell me about what's going on. This has been going on for 15 years?
That I could probably start to track, yes.
What do you think started? Or was there any? Would you remember anything like? Let's go back to your teenage years. Did you have any neck or back problems when you were really young?
Well, posture. From watching you, you learn, we're taught posture. I was rough. I played sports, did basketball, but I was kind of always on the go. I sat with it and I was like, what kind of happened along the way? I know there's been like several car accidents that have happened. You think you're young, you bounce back, you don't think of it. Somewhere, I think about 2010,
yeah.
I got rear-ended. I was sitting at the freeway exit and this guy comes full force. Literally, retrospectively thinking, I should have went to the doctor. I know I had a concussion.
Okay.
And then, so that was some of that. Then there was some with my daughter's father was abusive.
Okay.
So some of that was happening. And then I had, in 2020,
yeah,
I fell down my basement stairs.
Okay.
Concrete. Head bounced.
Okay.
That for me was what has accelerated.
Okay. We'll look at the MRIs in a second, but we have multiple levels of disc injuries in your neck. When we have a whiplash, so half the spine has no feeling. And the difficulty with it is that when let's say in your 30s, you have this car accident, and the main thing that's injured in a car accident are these joints. And so what I see on your MRI, and I'll show you in a second, is that the natural curve that your neck is supposed to have has gone reversed. It's gone the opposite way. That usually is trauma. It's more than, and it looks more to me more than just I live a life that requires me to be forwardly rotated. It's injury that's accelerated. This is obviously you just full
just gave you some
freeway. Somebody slams into you is enough where your neck gets injured by the whiplash, and then as response to that, your neck healed in avoidance of it. Now we live 10 years in the wrong alignment. You fall down some stairs, and now it is over the edge.
Correct.
Okay. So this is the MRI 4 years ago or so. The C4 disc is, compressing the edge of the spinal cord, and even a little bit of the C6 disc. These little white lines here are basically water. White is water on this MRI, and so there's actually fluid inflammation in the bone. So there's so much pressure actually went into the vertebrae. The actual vertebrae has I call it a bruise. There's a bruise on the actual bone. There's little stress, maybe you call them stress fractures, some people might call them that, but really they're just stresses in the bone, fluid in the bone. They should be like, kind of like that guy, just kind of gray throughout, and you can kind of see a little white, especially this guy here right above the most sandwiched. That guy got really compressed. Do you have any?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll go through that in a second. And then, I'm sure the neck hurts too. That's where the joints get injured in the neck. So then, this is the same picture. This is 4 years ago also, but I wanted to show you a little bit different slice where you can sort of see that disc coming out and making contact, and then also this injured disc at C6. And then this one was taken last year, where we have a little bit more now. This guy's getting injured.
And now
this guy,
they're all
they're all continuing to progress. We want to, but the main thing I was saying is also the massive reversal in the curve. You're supposed to be curved this way, and we're going the other way, where that disc there at C4 is under an immense amount of pressure, and that's what's sandwiching it. And then you also have an X-ray. I wanted to show why I like MRIs, because on the X-ray you're just left with the space. You can see that this space here is more narrow than it should be, but we get no information that actually this disc is bulging.
Correct.
That disc space there doesn't look so bad until you see the MRI and you go, we got a disc injury, and this is why not a fan of it. Not a fan of X-rays. I'm glad you got MRIs to actually see these things. But just to further go on the X-ray, it misses this injury.
Is that bone spurring coming off from what
yes,
I heard you say?
C4. C4 is
the little hooks.
Growing bone. Again, the esophagus, this is your airway. That little dark shadow here is your airway, and the esophagus lies right on the front part of your spinal column. It can move out of the way. There's really nothing that these bone spurs do to interfere. The main thing is that the posterior bone spurs right in here impact the cord. The cord is going down this tube right here. And so when there's pressure, again, I go back to the MRI, I can see it much more clearly. There's the tube, and that gray is your spinal cord, and therefore we can see that. And this was probably taken laying down, is that correct? This is what laying
Correct,
down MRI?
yes, sir.
So this is a non-weight bearing picture, and they've done weight bearing versus non-weight bearing. It's most MRIs are taken laying down, but we have the ability to actually get a weight bearing. And my point is, this is the best that
That's
it looks.
better than what it feels. Correct.
It's worse than this.
Yes, exactly.
Because this is like, I mean, if we inverted you and took an
I
MRI,
felt all the pressure.
it would look better than this. My point is that we need weight bearing pictures, but
Okay.
even with it laying down, we're in trouble. How can you help me, Dr. Ed? The good news that I like to show is that the upper neck is new, your C2 disc is not injured, even C3 is in good shape, and then the guys below your lower neck are also in good shape. So these areas must not be mechanically functioning very well, frozen, and that's leading to your lower neck being overstressed and overused. So let's try to go up here, work on the areas around, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of like testing, seeing how much we can actually ask your neck to arch, see if we can take that pressure off that, and we'll figure that throughout the course of our visit today. But tell me about the arms. Tell me about.
Quick question about
please,
that.
please.
The axis. Is it the axis?
Atlas and the
Atlas.
axis.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah, you're fine.
because I do a lot of research, and then obviously a lot of the symptoms of that's like out of alignment will cause some
Headaches.
headaches and the fogginess because
Yeah.
the last 4 years have been.
You have pressure on the spinal cord in there that's going to be causing your brain-body connection to be not clear. But the atlas axis will directly cause headaches. So inflammation of that suboccipital from the alignment that you're in. So the more forward the head goes, the more reverse curve. The muscles that attach up here get really tight, and that lactic acid from those tight muscles starts to irritate those nerves. So we gotta try to work on that posture.
Got it. And like I said, the fogginess, and I'm tired, and it's all the things. And then back to your original question of the numbness. For a long time, I have probably have patches in my back that are already numb. Like it feels like it's numb.
Okay.
And then I've had carpal tunnel. I've had the ulnar nerves both done in both arms because I'm trying process of elimination. But no, like
When you say they haven't done, they've opened up those
this
channels.
had to be redone. Yes,
Yeah.
these had to be rerouted, and then the carpal tunnel. They did the carpal tunnel surgery. So I've had more surgeries.
Has that, just curiosity, has that changed much of anything? Those surgeries?
Some.
Really? Tell me.
Where my whole hand would go numb.
Okay.
It doesn't happen as frequently anymore.
Okay.
So some of that was a relief. There's still some numbness depending on the position I get, but this numbness I can definitely tell you is coming from here. And the numbness still happens. It can go.
All the way down the arm? Okay. Mainly the left side? Does it go both sides? Or?
It'll go both sides, but it's mainly this side of my body that's the, like I can almost point to whatever's in here is all of this. Yeah, this side's worse, no pain.
That disc injury at C4 is going to explain a lot of that numbness up in here.
Okay.
C5, this is the C5 dermatome. C6 is your thumb and index finger. So every area has a certain section.
Okay.
And so we got pressure up there on your spinal cord at C4. The C4 is going to be more back of the neck, upper back.
C5 is right in through.
Correct, yeah, more shoulder, C6, C7, C8. So every level, we're hitting wires in your spinal column, and we need to try to get the weight off the disc, and the only way to do that is to arch the head back. Now the difficulty is we have levels of injuries in these joints that your body has decided along 15 years ago, I ain't going back there anymore. So holding its hand and trying to guide the neck back and trying to figure out what we can handle. Oh yeah, we'll sit up. Head back, we'll go easy. Exhale. All right, deep breath in, I got you. Real gentle, I got you. Exhale. Let it go, I got you. Yeah. All right, deep breath in, I got you. 2 more. Let it go. Exhale. Yeah, a little bit. It's okay, you're doing good. 1 more. I got you, you're okay. Exhale. All right, stay there. It's okay. We're loosen up. We got a.
Now I'm not gonna lie,
You're fine.
I cracked my neck for a lot of years, and then I tried to convince my kids to sit my own back. So I'm telling myself now.
No, it's okay. If that area moved easily, I'd be confused.
Okay.
Right, so it's very understandable that the middle back is not working properly. I'm going to check the lower back before I do any side posture. I want to sort of check the hips a little bit more before I do any twisting on you. All right. Right at gentle here. Loosen this up a little bit. Real gentle. Just this top guy a little bit. Okay,
Oh.
it's okay, it's okay. I got you.
And I felt that in my right.
Okay, all right. Here. Chin up for me a little bit. Okay, I got you. Yeah. All right, that's okay. All right. We have some work to do.
Okay.
Totally locked.
But that fogginess over the last several years, it's just,
Well, you're gonna have your brain stem comes through your foramen magnum up there, and then the atlas is not positioned properly. Its influence on your spinal cord and the drainage of your skull, right? So the lymphatic drainage all is based on mobility. So when the neck gets tight, the lymphatics become blocked up. Now you get, essentially, the turnover of the tissue is not happening properly. The tissue is not draining properly out of your skull. Inflammation builds up, and
I even went vegan.
wow,
Yeah, about 3 years ago to just try to help with the inflammation.
gotcha. This knot here on the right side of your neck is immense, and this is the the tragedy is that this is locked, and then the lower neck is just
Taking it all.
taking the brunt. You got it. All right. All right.
My daughter even went to
Uh-huh.
go to school for massage so that she's like, Mom, so I can try to help.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right. All right.
Now, is that the rib or is that just
First
the
rib.
pelvis?
Yep. First rib right here, and so we're going to try to open up that channel in the lower neck a little bit. This is the funnel, the thoracic outlet that leads down your arm. And both sides we're going to open up. I gotta get. It's your inability to tilt your head right as easily as you tilt left, because that's what's making you pinch. That's why the left arm is the most affected. It's this knot here that your head doesn't like to tilt to the right, and that's my job, is to unlock this joint. They found very quickly, something like 10 days of a joint not moving, that we can actually start to measure crystals and plaque and grit, sandpaper
10
forms
days.
very quickly. Yeah. So we know this is the principle of frozen shoulder, right? If somebody injures their shoulder, they don't move their shoulder. Frozen shoulder doesn't take years to develop. It can develop in a week or two, where now you're losing range of motion. And the medical world agrees with me and says, okay, well, we can knock you out and have a big person come in and move your shoulder around and unlock the glue in the shoulder, or we can go through months of physical therapy.
Because I saw a surgeon and I knew like it was nothing but guts. I didn't want to have the fusion.
Okay. Right.
And I thought there was some hope to do. Okay, not supposed to.
Yes. Yes.
Not as good. I thought I was going to do the disc replacement, and
Sure.
I was devastated when he's like, "Yeah, no, we'll just do." I said, "Nope."
Right.
Nope, we're not doing
ACDF,
that.
anterior cervical discectomy infusion,
Yeah,
right?
no,
That's
no,
what they.
because- And then I did the research, and then
It just
it gets
goes to the
worse.
next guy.
Correct.
You're just moving the
and it's-
domino around.
It's not going to help the mobility.
You'll lose mobility.
Yeah.
Right,
So
I
yeah,
know.
we're not doing that.
The core problem is your main engine. So 60% of the work of your neck is designed to happen up here at the top. We already assessed from me trying to adjust you not functioning, and that is the problem. That's the treatment protocol that should be under, is that we're spending as much energy and time trying to restore your atlas and axis to its full potential, full function. I almost want it functioning more than what it was meant to handle, to make up for the years that it's been underworking.
We can get it there. Thank you.
I'd like it to be, almost hypermobile to make up for all the years that it's been hypomobile
But you know what's crazy is I was always a very hypermobile, and I think that's what got it.
from your lower neck. Yeah.
I was always very easily being able to bend. And,
Right.
And then it's like, it just stopped. Everything just stopped.
This is why total range of motion is silly. In school, they teach us to use these instruments called inclinometers to measure range of motion.
Mhm.
The problem is it doesn't tell us where the range of motion is coming from.
Yeah.
You could have one segment doing double and one segment doing half, and the total will look good. That make sense?
Yes.
So this is why it's all silly to me, because
Maybe it's a root.
you're not getting an understanding of for how much each member of the team is working. The only way to do that is actually go through and feel the spine, and like a piano, run your hand down the piano and
See which key I'm moving.
assess each key. You got it. You can't just look at the total range of motion and make an assessment. Oh, you touch your toes? Okay, you're good. Well, it's like, no, okay, the total's fine, but she's not bending everywhere evenly. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah.
It's like Yeah, no.
Frozen. Yeah, frozen up here. It's okay.
Ooh. Yep.
That's everything right there. All right, take a break.
That's
Yes, oh, it's
whatever's
all
in
crunchy
there.
in there.
Yeah, whatever. That's the part that'd be like, oh.
Yeah, wow.
At least I know I'm not crazy. So thank you for the validation.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. Your MRI fully validates there's enough on there to write a book. There should be no care chiropractically on those injured guys. That would be bad.
Mhm.
But that
But the
doesn't
rest
take
of the
away from the
body.
fact that what I saw is at least half, maybe 70% of your spine is young, at least from what I can see. And so that 70% that's not working properly
Just wake up.
needs to be worked on to take the stress off the ones that are injured. And all right. Oh man, that feels gnarly right there. It's like
Yep.
it's like a water balloon mixed with sand. You know, like a slushy of inflammation right there.
And then so I was taking Motrin, then I had gotten diverticulitis, and they're like, you can't take Motrin. I'm like,
boy.
oh, you guys. I'm like, wait a minute. Ooh, yeah, I feel that, like that in there, right in the bend.
Yes,
Jesus.
ma'am, yes.
Yep.
If I'm going too hard, please let me know. Okay,
No,
here we
you're
go.
good.
It's like scrubbing a tub.
Mhm. I'm curious to see how
Yeah.
purple that's going to be.
Yeah, let's see.
Is it coming?
Yeah, right here. Yeah, right there at the top. It's layers. It's going to be, it's like we have to unlock and
And then let it start
so that,
to.
and then it'll go
Mhm.
deeper. It's like there's layers of stiffness that are
Yep.
over top of some of the lactic acid, and every visit you kind of get the different layers of inflammation that have been trapped in here.
And you've never been scraped or cupped, or have you?
I bought my own set, trying to
Okay.
figure it out,
Uh-huh.
and nobody does it right. So,
Yeah.
and I can't do it myself. So my
Yeah.
daughter tried the cupping one time, and it was black. Like I'm like, oh, well, at least I know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult because essentially the wires, they form, the nerve roots in your lower neck form what we call the brachial plexus, and that those form the three nerves that go down your arm, the median, ulnar, and radial nerve. The difficulty is that essentially they're contiguous with the neck and the nerve roots, and so when you hit the nerves in the lower neck, it'll cause a symptom all the way down in the hand. And the difficulty with carpal tunnel and all that is that right, so symptom in the location is not enough. So you can't, people might say, well, I have numbness here, they call it the palmar side of the thumb, index, and middle, which is the median nerve distribution. But it's really not just symptoms there that gives a positive carpal tunnel. It's only when those symptoms are exacerbated, made worse,
They flood over almost.
no, by this movement.
Ah.
Only, we call it phalans and reverse phalans. So
Okay.
they're not numb, but Ed, when I do this or I do this,
Mhm.
it becomes numb during this motion, that is a positive carpal tunnel diagnosis. It isn't enough just to have a symptom in that
Well,
location.
when I went,
Mhm.
I was going for my neck.
I understand.
And so then they're like, well, you look
Well,
like you're
I
carpal
know,
tunnel.
I
Let's
know.
eliminate that. Well, let's do, I mean, if it's gonna help, let's do both of them.
I know, I get it,
Yeah.
I understand, I'm just,
Yeah, no, I get it,
We're
I get
throwing-
what you're saying.
sometimes we just throw stuff on the,
That's what I
see what
feel-
sticks kind of
That's what I
idea.
feel like that was being done.
Right, and I'm just, wanna,
learned-
I have maybe seen one or two in my last 17 years of practice of true carpal tunnel. What I've seen extremely frequently is what I saw in your neck MRI. And the relief of those symptoms by unburdening the lower neck, by giving the lower neck a vacation, I believe is the only real way through this. And
And that's what I felt, but you
It's
know
okay.
how hard it is
it's
to
okay.
have every
You're-
medical doctor.
no, you're
say,
fine. It's not your fault. It's not your job. It's not your fault. You're looking for guidance from your doctors. What are you feeling? How you doing?
I'm okay.
You okay?
I've been trying to practice and.
Okay. This is going to be the goal is to go to the edge and then back off. The goal,
Mhm.
and also the goal is time.
Mhm.
So we want to go as deep as we can manage and handle. And obviously there's no gravity on your spine right now, so there's no compression of your spine at this moment. And then we try to go into extension.
Mhm.
And we bring the natural curve back to the spine. We take the pressure off those compressed discs, compressed vertebral bodies that are sandwiched, and understand that there's a lot of joints that are going to have to hold the weight as we transfer the weight off of those discs. Now the joint has to hold it, and the joint has a lot of feeling. All right, all right, just try to unlock that a little bit. All right, right up here. Wow.
Mhm.
All these attachments are just,
That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, way too much stress and pull on this
Ooh.
occipital ridge here. Yeah.
Wow.
Just see if I can unlock a little bit. All right. Uh-huh. Yeah, I got you. Got you. Shoulder down best you can. I got you. It's okay. I got you. Let it go. All right, fair enough.
Ooh.
I know.
Mm.
It's tough.
Ooh.
Your lower neck is so overzealous, and it doesn't have much capability to be stressed anymore, and even just a slight measure of pressure can upset it. All right. It's okay. I'm waiting. All right, a little bit.
Thank you.
The more forward the head goes, the more the upper back elevates and goes posterior and rounds. And so it's a continuation of, it's coupled with the neck. The neck misalignment feeds that problem. And so we have to push the upper back in and also try to draw the head back with the realization that there's injuries that we're going to run into, and then the disc spaces take time to rehydrate. So we can't do it quickly. We have to give your body time as we're stretching backwards, you understand, to rehydrate so that you can go actually deeper. We can't. Yeah, it's a process. You got it.
So it wasn't until I watched you that movement in the shoulder is the same as the movement in the neck.
Yeah.
Hence why, that mobility, even lifting
Right,
or
up here.
reaching up. Or,
When you lift your arms up, it raises those ribs, which then
Yep.
pinches that channel a little
Yep.
bit.
Phew. All that to do.
One of the ways to correct this is that we hold this rib down,
Mhm.
and then we have your arms above your head while we're stretching. And what
Okay.
that does is, even with your arms up, the rib is not elevating.
Okay.
So then when you bring your arms down, the rib goes even farther down.
So should
Out
I?
of, so what I'm saying is we'll show you in the end
Okay.
of the visit. We're going to attempt, and I just told you that lifting your arms up raises the rib,
Mhm.
and that pinches the channel. But the purpose of stretching with the arms up is that we're going to have pressure here. You
And
understand?
then we
Push
lift.
the rib down, even when it should be up.
Okay.
So the drawer stays closed even with pressure trying to open the drawer.
And
So then when you bring your arms down, the rib is
Space.
farther down
Got it.
and gives you more space for that thoracic outlet to flow. Yes, yes.
Okay, that
Yes.
back is real, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yep. So is that all
Right
as
there.
locked? Yep, yep.
Crunchy.
Is that all as locked up? Wow, I can feel that, yeah.
There's resistance. The vertebrae are resistant to functioning. If they moved when I asked them to move, there wouldn't be any difficulty, right? There's
Correct.
only a rock in a hard place. I'm asking it to move, and your elbow's stiff. No, your back is hard, right? It's like the vertebrae need to be functioning like finger knuckles, bending easily without resistance. That's a knot.
Yep. Jesus. Oh,
Yeah. All right.
that's just like sore bruise. Oh, yep. That up there is like, wow, right? Right there.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yep. Ooh. Is that crunching right there?
That's you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
That's your elbow. No, it's you.
No, that's me. Ow. Yep. I'll be telling my daughter, just put your elbows there and just press down, just press
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So I'm raising my 5-year-old godson, and
Hey.
he'll see it and he'll come behind me. Okay, mommy, let me put my elbows in here
Oh.
and try. Like if you weigh about 50 more pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh. Okay, jeez. Mm-hmm.
I had a patient earlier today. If I could just buy that feeling,
Yeah.
buy that elbow, and just take this home
Yeah.
with me. I'd be all set.
I bought all the machine, but I'm like, I can't
Nothing
get
to
it.
emulate this. Yeah.
Nope,
no,
I
you
can't get it. And too much stress trying to do it. Oof, yep.
Can't emulate this motion right
Nope.
here.
Oh, thank you. Oof. Mm. Ooh, yep. Not that that's so comfy.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm. It's crazy.
in order to move these guys down, these guys have to move down. You get the idea? I
Yeah.
can't move these guys down until these guys.
Yeah.
So
And
they
that's
all.
the part that's frozen. Is
That's
the
right.
middle.
That's right.
Mm. We have definitely gone down another layer. Whew.
That's it.
Ah.
Wow, this side right there. Wow, that's gonna make a mark.
Mm. Breathe, Maria, breathe, Maria. Ah. Mm. Yeah.
Ave Maria.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is it marking
A
or?
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, real quickly.
It's funny, I can actually now completely feel the shoulder still, like
Right.
the difference in this is, yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you had that numbness again?
Oh, some of that spot numbness,
Mhm.
I probably way too long,
Mm.
way too long. You know, I have
Just
four,
keep going.
I have 4 kids,
Right.
taking care of everybody.
Yep. Yep.
And you know, you just like, oh, we'll give it to me later.
Right. You're on
Mhm.
back burner. Yep.
And now I'm like, oh,
Time to
it's
switch in
later.
front.
Yeah, it's later.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was like, whatever you're gonna need to do next in life, you're gonna need your body, Maria. So.
Yeah. Yeah. We burned both ends of the candle, and then we like, hey, I don't think I have enough light to make it.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the part where it was like weighing a lot. Like, wait. We got too much to do still.
Mhm.
And not trying to get anxious and not trying to.
Mhm. Don't be
Yeah.
anxious about anything, but anything.
Yep. And all things prayer reciprocate. Yep.
There you go.
And it's like, okay, God.
Mhm.
And then he's like, well, you're gonna have to take care of you and go through all that
Mhm.
and model that because unfortunately that's not taught, you know. It's like, well, here we are. And I was nervous coming. I'm like, why am I feeling nervous?
Oh, we'll take care of you.
That almost feels good.
Yes. No, it needs it.
Mm-hmm.
All bound up. Part of it is the chemical irritation. The lactic acid builds up in the tissue. The lactic acid that I'm referring to is not visible or measurable on a blood test. And so therefore, I feel like some doctors act as if it doesn't exist because it can't be quantified. They like everything to be
Numbers.
quantifiable.
Mhm.
Here's your blood pressure. Here's your
Yep.
blood calcium levels. Here's your CO2. Does that make sense? They want
Yep.
everything to be, but we can't
Numbers, yep.
quantify. You can feel it, right? You can.
Mhm.
I can rub it, and you go, something's there that doesn't
Yep.
belong there. And as your care progresses, subjectively you can go, Ed, my back is not nearly as
Mhm.
tender as it used to be. But an MRI might look the same. Yet you might
Correct.
feel immensely better.
Correct.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm not saying MRIs aren't useful either. I'm saying it's a piece of the puzzle.
Mhm.
It's more than just the image that helps us understand why we're feeling a certain way.
Correct.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, it's all getting red.
Say it a little bit long so my daughter would realize I'm not crazy. It's just
Like sludge. Yeah, it's like grime, grit.
Mm.
Did it move at all? No?
Mm-mm.
Just really tight.
I feel like it's so locked I've like turned off the feeling it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Your body's giving up trying to talk to it.
Correct. It's like, yep, you ain't following the GPS, I'm just gonna shut up. Yep, there it is. I almost want to counter stretch to be like, go ahead, go further. Mm. And that's like that part, like I know you're pushing and I can feel what's happening inside, but on the derma, like on the skin, it almost feels like,
No, I'm disconnected.
yes,
yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Not good. Not good.
Ooh, okay, we feel that. Oh, yep. Oh, wow. Jesus. Oh.
Oh, here you go.
Movement.
Oh, okay. Everybody wake up. Yeah, you're good. You're right there. Okay.
Oh. So for ministry, I drive a lot because
Okay.
we have members everywhere. And I was like, God, I cannot lose my ability to drive. I feel that. Now that knot that was down there, is that why I'm feeling that?
This is the SI joint. So this is
Mhm.
a sacroiliac joint. You know, sitting too much locks this joint. So sitting and this joint getting stiff, which then puts the lower back under stress. So keeping this area moving slows down the burden on the lower back.
Okay. Oh, yep, Lord, okay. Jesus. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, all
Yep.
that was in your neck and shoulders and all this
Oh, wow.
is inflammation that's just been trapped in here. You're fine. There we go. Go ahead and tilt your head a little bit. Uh-huh. Go.
Er, Now see. That was okay.
Gotcha. Ooh,
Whew, okay.
got a little extra there,
I
yeah.
was like, wait,
Let's get this
I could feel that go all the way down my face.
tilt. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
legit, yeah.
No, that's weird. I could feel that like a release all the way down.
Yeah, we gotta start trying to push that upper back in. That hump in the upper back has to be counter stretched. We're jumping the gun here a little bit. I would like to spend a couple more hours just cleaning, even getting you in a lactic, in an Epsom salt bath to rinse out that lactic acid, to give us more room to do this. But I want to preview and show you this is where your care heads, is to doing counter stretching. We have to do the stretching at home to back me up, to retain the work that we do.
That actually feels good.
Let's move down 1 inch, roll.
Down. Like
Yeah,
this
roll
way?
upwards. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and stay there.
Now
And-
that don't feel as good.
Well, you gotta perfect every level.
Mhm.
Okay, so every level from your upper back all the way down to your middle back bra strap level, maybe a little bit below the bra strap. That whole chest area, we're trying to recruit. We have to start going to the edge and backing off, like I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And I wanted to give you a preview of this, but we really should spend some more time loosening you up,
Mhm.
and then this becomes more functional and beneficial as we get your spine cleaner. So remember when I was holding your head in that curved position, this is just an emulation of that. It's an emulation of the cervical mold that your neck belongs in, the cervical lordosis, the curve. We took us about 100 years as a profession to understand that adjustments don't change posture, that adjustments are a tool to make the spine limber so that stretching changes posture. And so we must spend time undoing and counter stretching, end of the day, arching the head back, molding back to this curve. Counterindications are, if the arms start getting upset, then really should back off and get more care. I understand if it already is tingling or numb, but if it starts to get
Exasperate or anything.
Yep, and you're not ready.
Okay.
I don't want it so high that your chin is down, and I
Okay.
don't want it so low that we're down in the
Way
lower
too
neck.
far.
So it's
Okay.
kind of middle upper neck, Goldilocks,
Mm-hmm.
right in the middle. All right, very good.
Thank you so
Pleasure.
much.
You
God
did wonderful.
bless you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
watching.
much.
Everybody like and subscribe. That's right.